Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Please tell me you're going to change the subject. Okay.
Well, I was going to, but maybe I don't want to anymore.
You're good. Go for it. Whatever.
Sarah, what was that monologue about? Could we discuss what was happening yesterday? The president has powers to take over the Metro Police Force in D.C. Does not have that power here, but could, under the Insurrection Act, send in the National Guard into the city of Chicago. The president was, he called you an incompetent man yesterday. He said the same thing about the governor. Talk about your feelings on what the president had to say about crime rates in D.C., in Chicago, how that doesn't necessarily jive with the numbers that we're getting from the police forces from both cities, and your thoughts on the president using the Insurrection Act as a catalyst to bring in the National Guard into the streets of Chicago.
Well, it's clear that the President of the United States of America is very much interested in insurrections. He led one. And I remember a time in which we had presidents who declared war on poverty. This president has declared war on poor people. And he's doing it by way of taking away, Medicaid, taking away SNAP, literally taking away food. He has gone after the Department of Public Education, defunding critical resources to our cities. And he is literally plundering our cities as we speak. And I am quite disturbed, quite frankly, by the unhealthy style of governance where he has shredded our Constitution. And, if the president was sincere, he would not be declaring war on poor people and going after homeless people. That's a much different posture than what we're taking in the city of Chicago, right? We've expanded our shelter beds by 126%, put $40 million into our shelter system to improve them. We're on pace to build 10,000, affordable units by the time my first term ends. And we're making critical investments to drive violence down on the city of Chicago. Homicides are down 30%, shootings and shooting victims down almost 40%. So it's evident that the work is working. And so, as disturbing as it is, we can't not lose sight on what we are facing. And President Trump shifting the highest concentration of wealth into the hands of the ultra-rich. It's why here in Chicago, we're moving to challenge the ultra-rich to pay their fair share in taxes, right? You have a tax burden of working people in the city of Chicago about 19 and a half, almost 20%, where for the rich, it's about 11.5%. For the ultra-rich, they almost pay no taxes, right? And so my focus is going to always be to protect people of this city and to build the safest, most affordable big city in America. And though we take these threats seriously, we will not bow down or succumb to his tyrant rage.
Have you had conversations with public safety, with the superintendent, on the possibility of that happening?
Well, he doesn't have the legal authority to do it, right? So let me just be very clear. He does not have the legal authority to do it as
right. I'm not talking about the police force. I'm talking about the Insurrection Act and National Guard.
I'm saying he does not have, I know what you're talking about. He does not have the legal authority to do it. In fact, troops do not have policing power. They're not even trained to do that. So understand what this president is provoking. He is provoking on sending federal troops, the National Guard, into cities to plunder them, though those entities do not have policing power. So they can't even do the very thing that he claims that he wants them to do. You talk about incompetence. Look, I taught 7th grade. In Chicago, 7th graders have to pass the Constitution. I taught it. This president could use a 7th grade class right now to understand the basics of the Constitution. And so it's incumbent upon all of us as we literally watch this man shred the Constitution in front of us, taking not only a tyrannical approach, an authoritarianism approach towards governance, is doing it with no resistance from his own party. And I'm grateful that there are Democrats around the country and even reasonable Republicans who recognize that he is a threat to our democracy. You all have heard me speak of this before. I've said this for the last couple of years. The extreme right in this country wants a rematch of the Civil War. His own mentor, President Andrew Jackson, is how he is modeling his behavior. The Trail of Tears, right? Snatching people off of their land. A war on poor people. He is one of the biggest threats to humanity that we've seen in an entire generation. And as mayor of the city of Chicago, and as someone who understands the premise of our Constitution, we are justified in our resistance to his authoritarianism.